So to recap the UFC fight night, I believe it was UFC Vegas 26, headlined by Marina Rodriguez and Michelle Waterson. It's a pretty deep card overall. A lot of good fights on the card. You had Neil Magny and Geoff Neal fighting on there. Co-main event was Cowboy Cerrone, Alex Morono. You had Gregor Gillespie and Carlos Diego Ferraira on that card. So a lot of good fights on that main card. But to just cover the main event, recap the main event a little bit, a very important fight as far as the women's strawweight division is concerned. Marina Rodriguez looking very impressive in, recently all of her fights, and especially this one as well. Just all around tremendous performance. Michelle Waterson did well too. She definitely had her moments. She landed a couple of nice kicks. She had a lot of nice kicks in there. And like I said, she definitely had her moments. She had a nice fourth round where she dominated with a lot of top control in that fourth round. And, even in the rounds she was losing, she was definitely not lifeless. She was giving Marina a lot of problems and giving her a lot of different looks, throwing a lot of tricky kicks in her face, and pretty much just doing what she could, But there was definitely a discrepancy as far as like the striking skill set overall. Marina just seemed like a little bit of an advantage in the speed department as far as, especially when she's letting the hands fly. And man, Marina Rodriguez looks very high level in the striking, just very impressive. Watterson had a couple of very nice low kicks as well, I forgot to mention. Very nice low kicks. She had a decent performance for losing, but, Marina Rodriguez overall just too good. Very impressive performance by her. And I got to imagine if she gets another win, she might be the next title challenger. I mean, she reminds me a lot of Joanna, when she fights. She's that tall, damaging striker. And man, when she lets those hands fly, they come in with heat. She landed a couple of clean shots that Watterson was able to survive, But man, overall, very impressive striking performance from Rodriguez. But, she did get controlled on the ground there. And if that's somebody like Mackenzie Dern on top of her, she's really got to be worried about getting submitted. You know what I mean? So, that will be something that her future opponents could try to exploit, especially if she fights somebody like Mackenzie Dern, who's also up and coming into possibly challenging for a title in that strawweight division. I'm going to get a sip of water real quick. But, overall, just very impressive performance from Marina Rodriguez, And like I said, I think she probably will be challenging for a title very soon, And really no loss in stock from Michelle Waterson, I think, because she looked good in there. It's just, she was just overwhelmed by what looks like Marina Rodriguez could be one of the best fighters in that division, So great fight, good choice for the short notice main event. It was a very deep card overall. I'll just touch on these fights shortly. Or you know what? Nah, screw it. So Cowboy fought Alex Morono in the co-main event. Of course, Morono replaced Diego Sanchez on short notice. And, Cowboy, not too much defense in this fight. Getting knocked out in the first round, TKO'd. I believe this is his fifth loss in a row, if you don't include the draw that he just had against Nico Price. Should he retire? Maybe. But he was talking about going to 155, and you could tell the size difference here. I mean, Cowboy's not a 170-pounder, you know what I mean? And if he can make 155 and fight at 155 without killing himself to make weight like he was planning to, I think he would look a little better than this. Then again, I'm not saying he should be fighting the best guys in the division, but if he's fighting another vet, like if he's fighting a guy like Jim Miller at 155, I don't think he gets like brutally knocked out, you know what I mean? He can hang with these guys, But at 170, I mean, you could tell the power difference between him and Alex Morono. And Cowboy's got some power, especially with the kicks. And, I mean, Cowboy's got some power, but it's like you could just tell the difference between him and Morono. Morono looked like a real 170-pounder. You know what I mean? Cowboy looked like a lightweight moving up, and ultimately I think that had a lot to do with the early finish, in my opinion. But no, yeah, I mean, Cowboy's definitely not on that level to compete with these young, hungry guys. I think they should just try to match him up with a couple of veterans around his age, and have him go out on his own terms, on good terms, on a win or something, But with that being said, overall great performance from Alex Morono, and yeah, he probably will be getting a nice opponent next after beating Cowboy, because most people do. Yeah. And then before that was Neil Magny and Geoff Neal. Good fight, Neil Magny pulling out the win with a decision over Geoff. Geoff had his moments too, landed a couple of nice clean shots. Like I said, had his moments, didn't look bad. It's just Neil was able to weather the storm and make Geoff fight his fight, clinched him up a lot, and was just very active. He was just active throughout the whole fight. And like I said, made Geoff fight his fight, and it was a good performance by Neil Magny. That's a tough opponent to beat, man, because, you might think, oh, he doesn't hit as hard as this guy or whatever. But, man, it's like he's one of those guys, he finds a way to win. And that's what he did against Geoff Neal. He turned it into his fight, And it was honestly fun to watch, because Geoff, man, that guy throws heat. And he was throwing heat, and he even landed a couple of nice shots that Neil was able to shrug off and just continue. But man, overall it was a fun fight, and yeah, I think Neil Magny would be fun to watch him fight Chimaev or something like that, if Chimaev is healthy. If not, yeah, I think he was saying Vicente Luque, maybe Michael. Oh, he just fought Michael Chiesa, but yeah, Vicente Luque, that'd be a good fight. Yeah, I think Neil Magny is definitely among one of the better welterweights for sure. That guy, and he proved it against Geoff Neal for sure. And then another fight I wanted to just touch on was Gregor Gillespie and Carlos Diego Ferraira. Very good fight in the lightweight division. Diego being ranked number 12 and Gregor Gillespie being number 14 prior to the fight happening. And Gillespie, man, just putting a pace on Diego that he could keep up with for a little, and while he kept up, it was very fun to watch. Tons of scrambles, just an insane fight, But Gillespie just has such a motor on him, and he just kept going until Diego couldn't go no more. You know what I mean? And man, that chain wrestling he was doing was just tremendous. You know what I mean? And yeah, that guy's gonna be tough to deal with. He kind of reminds me of Merab Dvalishvili, the bantamweight. Very similar style, just high motor, high, like, you might think you can do X, Y, or Z better than him, but you're not gonna be able to do that, because he's just going and going and going, and anytime you think you have a second with him, you don't. He's still going. He's still. It was very fun to watch. His pace was insane, and yeah, I'd love to see him fight a top 10 guy, because man, this guy could be a problem for a lot of people. You know what I mean? And Diego looked good too. Missed weight by 5 pounds, and man, he did look heavy in there. He looked like a big boy. There was definitely a weight advantage in his favor. His shots were looking like they were hard shots. And that just goes to show how good Gregor's performance was, with that being said as well. But yeah, Diego did well while he was there, He was scrambling, staying alive, doing things on his own. Things of his own, I should say. And it was a great fight to watch while it lasted, but Gregor Gillespie was ultimately too much to keep up with. But yeah, ultimately, it was a great night of fights, even though it was not the craziest names in the main event. It was still a meaningful main event, fun to watch. All the fights were fun to watch. Yeah, ultimately, let me know what you guys think about that card. I think it was a pretty good card, top to bottom. And yeah, if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe for more videos like this one, and thank you very much for watching.